Hey everybody, if you are here this morning, I want to help encourage you to discover who you really are, and that is that you are the creator of this universe, having an experience as a human. And when you start to really understand this, things in your life are going to change. All of us were thinking that everything outside of us, right, is what's the true reality. But we're told in the scriptures that what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. So for us to change our life, for us to really start leveling up and really understanding who we really are, we need to start plugging in to that real identity of who we are, which is the I am having an experience through you. I was out with a friend last night and I was really trying to explain this to her. And I brought up the story of, the creation story in the book of Genesis, where it talks about how Adam was made, how God literally took clay, took dirt from the dust of the ground, right? He created man. And then I asked her, what happened next? It's like, okay, so God breathed into Adam and made him alive. So in that story, I said, what's the animating principle then in Adam? And she was like, it's God. God is the animating force inside Adam and is the animating force inside you. It's like when that force, that intelligence, that energy that's looking out through your eyes, that's looking out through my eyes, that's the creator, that's the presence of I am, okay? And what happens is that we get so identified with our human persona, and that human persona, it can experience pain, it can experience sadness, it can experience joy and all these things. But when we actually tap into our true self and understand that it is God's presence within us, and God is playing this human game, we ask by ourselves, we can do nothing. It says in the scriptures, and then it says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I remain in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. And what Christ is trying to tell us right there is that the vine, okay, is the Father. It's the consciousness within. And that's who we truly are. So when you start to understand that God is having this experience through you, that's how you can start tapping into the creator mode and start having things show up in your life and realize that you are actually creating this reality by your perception. If you think things are awful, you're going to start seeing awful things. And everybody's a creator. They're just doing it unconsciously because they've forgotten who they are. I said to my friend too, it was kind of like, just imagine that you went to another planet and you had to wear a spacesuit, right? You put this spacesuit on. It's like you suddenly start to say, I am the spacesuit. No, you're not. You are the consciousness within that spacesuit. And it's the same thing with our bodies when you start to understand that. So let me give you a little analogy here. I was out in the kitchen this morning. I get up early. I normally make a cup of coffee and I have my tea kettle here, right? So we have my kettle. I have a toaster, all right? These kitchen appliances. And I have a whisk. So the thing is the same thing. All these things have different functions. One toast, one can make cakes and pastries and stuff. One boils water, right? They all have different gifts. They all have different skills, but there is only one animating force within them, right? And that is the electricity that's running through them. That is what's powering them. And it's the same with you, my friends. It's only one consciousness that's powering all of us. And when you start stepping into that and understanding that is your true identity, okay, that's when you can start making life amazing and understanding that's who you really are. And whatever you consent to be, you can change that. So for example, this toaster ain't ever going to make popcorn. And this whisk, it's never going to boil water. It's the same thing. And this tea kettle, it's never going to whisk up batter. If you want to change things in your life, you need to change your identity. Some of yourself, you're always just seeing yourself as this particular thing. So if you always see yourself like, oh, I'll never be able to do anything else. I'm just a toaster. All I can do is toast stuff. Everything like burns up for me, right? You need to change your mindset and realize that you're not really the toaster. You are the electricity. You are the consciousness. You are the power that is powering that. And you can change that. You don't have to power the toaster. You don't have to power the whisk. You don't have to power the tea kettle, okay? You can change your self-concept, but when you're tapping in to who you really are, which is the consciousness, which is running this whole show, you know? There's an interesting scripture when I believe Peter, which is one of Jesus's disciples, come to him, and lots of people are saying, you know, are talking about him like this new amazing teacher in consciousness, like Jesus, and he's teaching all this stuff, right? And the disciples, one of them, Jesus said, well, I want to ask you a question. Who do you say that I am? Because people are saying, oh, some say he's this, some say he's that. And Peter goes, I say that you are the Christ. You are the Son of the living God. And what Jesus says, he has an interesting remark. And he says, yeah, that's right. I am. And on that, you know, and on that revelation, I am going to build my church, that I am the Christ. And on that revelation, I'm going to build that church. And so what many of us, we have thought, right, is that that revelation was only talking about that particular person, Jesus, I am the Christ. But each one of us, we are the Christ. The Christ lives in every single person. That's what we're trying to talk, that consciousness, that God's presence lives inside every single person. And you can back it up all the way through the scripture. It says the only thing that matters is Christ, and he is all in all. Look it up. It's in the book of Colossians, right? He's all and in all. That's the only thing that matters. We're also told that there was this great mystery. Let me tell you a secret, that there's Christ in you, the hope of glory, right? Christ is a visible image of the invisible God. And when you start to really tap into this revelation, I can say it, right? But you have to catch it. It has to become awakened in you. I can say this until I've said it multiple times, but when you actually understand it and embody this revelation that God's presence lives within you, how can it not be any other way? Are you greater? You know, we're not greater than the Creator, but the Creator is running that presence, that consciousness through each one of us. And when we start to understand that and step into that real identity, guys, that's when the amazingness starts happening in your life. It's not just about, you know, oh, I want to manifest $1 million. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's like suddenly your soul comes alive and you feel more joyful, more incredible than you have ever felt before when you step into that I am identity and know that you are never alone. That you have this presence within you. So I want to get this out so that people can understand more, just like I was trying to explain to my friend yesterday that she was so much more, and many of us were trying to cure our sadness or our lack of joy of living by feeding our persona, like, oh my goodness, if I just manifest $1 million, I'm going to feel so amazing. Well, I think it was Jim Carrey said, I wish that everybody could become as successful, as prosperous as I am, and as so that they could understand that that's not where it's at. Because where it's at, okay, is understanding who you truly are. And that's where joy and peace and just an amazing life starts coming in. You literally can be sitting on a cardboard box, just in the middle of nowhere, and feel so much joy because you are connected. And from that connected place, that's where you can start creating and bringing all the amazing things into your life that you want to bring into your life. So I hope that clarifies some things for you today. I hope that encourages you. I want to thank all my new subscribers so much for joining me on this journey. I try and have illustrations which are more easy to understand, and I'd like to hear from you. Where are you on your journey with stepping into awareness and understanding who you really are? I'd love to hear some of your comments in the boxes below. So thanks so much for joining me, guys, and I will see you on the next video. Oh, but before I do, I want to remind you that the power to transform your life, it's already within you. Have a great day. Bye.